There's this guy sitting at the bar and he wants you to basically sit and taste a whiskey in his glass that he's created and designed. Yeah. And I remember just looking at the time being like, it's 8 o'clock on a Friday, tell him to off.
Kev,
hey, how are you?
Mate?
Good. You? Well,
good
to see you.
Good. So we're just here at Three Horses. Is there 2 horses? No, there's 3 there.
There's 3.
Yeah, we're just going to duck in here. Come on in. Sit down.
How are you? Good?
Magical place. Pretty good, man. Yeah. Pretty good. It's just been a
hot day today, huh?
Hot day today, but that's how we want summer. We've still got another month to go, isn't it? When does summer finish? I don't know. I'm
always unsure with Melbourne. You know what I mean? Melbourne, it's whenever it decides, isn't it?
Exactly. So this is Kev, mate, it's been a hot minute since we've got, this is the first time I've ever had you on a recorded interview, but we've had a million conversations over the years.
Thankfully. Yeah. Thankfully, none of them have been recorded.
How long have we known each other?
10, 11 years. I remember you coming into a packed bar on a busy Friday.
Which bar was that?
It was at 1806.
1806, yeah.
Yeah, over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
You're like,
tell me the story.
Somebody tried this
whiskey. What do you remember?
I remember somebody coming down into the kitchen and being like, there's this guy sitting at the bar and he wants you to basically sit and taste a whiskey in his glass that he's created and designed, and then a traditional whiskey glass. Yeah. And I remember just looking at the time being like, it's 8 o'clock on a Friday, tell him to off. And here we are, 10 years later.
I was pretty ambitious back then.
Yeah, it was good though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well it clearly works.
Yeah, and obviously that bar pretty much worked. And then what was your story from then?
After finishing a tenure there, went to join Asahi, CUB, did a role there for a few years and decided to move back to London during COVID with my wife. That was a fun old time. And then came back to Melbourne hot-footed via Sydney.
Yeah.
So been back in Melbourne over 2 years now.
Yeah, and how's it all going?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, it's so good.
Pretty exciting, and we're in a pretty exciting space. I don't know how long this has been around for.
It's been close to 6-8 months now, I reckon.
5 months. 5? Actually, Rob is just off screen there. He'll be in a sec.
Yeah.
But, one of the owners. But this is
it's such a great addition to the Melbourne scene. You know?
I think to the world scene. To focus on sherry. I don't know, Rob. Do you want to potentially
pull up a stool?
Pull up a pew on the other side. Yeah, pretty cool concept and amazing. We'll show you this painting later on, but it's pretty amazing. But what's the story behind the bar? How did it come about?
Me and my 2 business partners, Matt and Ryan, have a lot of similar tastes. I don't really care about wine.
Yes,
it's the one thing. But one thing that's has always been pretty clear is that we love sherry, fortified, but with a real strong lean towards sherry. Ryan and I were in Spain for a couple of weeks, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and just fell in love with kind of sherry, Cantino, bodega kind of style service, even if it wasn't just the actual product. A lot of these bars are 100 and 120 years old. They're 7 shades of brown. There's no music. You can't take pictures in them.
Stink of cigarettes. all the great stuff.
Just 80 of the employees. Yeah. There's so much that we loved about that style of service. Where really narrow bars. There's not much there for an elbow and a drink. They jam them as well, which we really like. So when it's busy, they don't walk behind the bar or do table service. It's just passing glasses of sherry over or pouring over someone else. And it's chaotic, and we just loved it. We're one of the few countries that produce a lot of sherry and have a good history of making sherry here. So it didn't feel like we're kind of taking Spanish culture. There's definitely some roots of provenance of making sherry here.
For over 100 years, yeah.
We took the things that we liked and just made them a bit more Aussie.
Awesome.
We have another bar called Caretaker's Cottage, which is literally 80 meters away. Yeah. Just pumps out cocktails. We probably do 450 cocktails a day there, every single day. And the best-selling ones that we looked over 3 years, 6 out of 10 had sherry in them. Yeah. So we're like, well, there's an appetite for it, whether the conscious people are constantly choosing drinks because they've got sherry in them, or whether it's just a bit of an accident, or whether sherry actually just makes those drinks better.
Yeah, a happy accident.
So now we just have a cocktail bar with a bit of a sherry focus. We like to say there's a thread of sherry that runs through everything that we do. Now we just tell people that there's lots of sherry in them. It's not a footnote anymore.
This whole thing about Quench Convos is about people and connections and things like that. I'm interested to know how you guys know each other.
It's not too dissimilar to you, probably.
Yeah.
You're not selling glassware on a Friday night.
You're probably trying to get glassware and get booze.
I think anyone who's got a shared love of football kind of gravitates to each other. Kev and I share the same team, which is Liverpool, of which there is emblems in both of our bars for this.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So, you know, Kev and I talk a lot. I would say 5% of it is work.
There's certainly been a few shared pints watching Liverpool at, you know, silly time in the morning. But then when you guys opened up your first bar in Melbourne as part of the Fancy Free sort of brand, my partner was kind of looking after the guys from a supply perspective.
When Kev's Wifery was with Diageo, Diageo took a punt on us when we had nothing to offer. We asked for a lot of stock for essentially just a domestic tour all around the major cities of Australia, then to help us essentially fund a pop-up, which we had for 6 months. And then that bar was called Fancy Free, and now we call our Fancy Free group. So we're kind of like, we've kept that
Evolved
identity. But it's just one of those things where like working with Kevin and his wife is like, it's part of our story really.
Yeah.
But I think the great thing behind that is like, it's like you're investing in people, but you're working with people, and then they create beautiful spaces and great drinks. So like, these guys are onto something, and you want to be in some way,
associated.
Yeah, absolutely. And watch them be incredibly successful over the years is incredible testament to the work they've put in and the journey they've been on.
Amazing. Yeah. Let's try some of this, some of the wares that made it so famous. I guess the whole thing that kind of unites it all is the drinks.
Yeah, easy. I'm just going to serve you 3 things. I'm going to do an old-fashioned with some Suntory whiskey. Okay. And then I'm going to give you what we serve to everybody here, which is we'll always start with a beer and a shirt. So you're going to have 3 things in front of you, unfortunately.
Okay, triple park. Oh, look at this.
How good's this?
Have a look at this.
Wow. And then we always manage these with our kind of intricate coasters. We have 16.
How cool is that?
So essentially, that's
so good.
Everyone's plating can look really different or unique.
Amazing.
And add and subtract every time.
And clearly this is something that people are taking away from the bar as well, right? Intentionally.
Yeah, souvenirs.
So
these
good.
are great. Who did the artwork?
Ryan, my business partner.
Wow, is he a graphic designer?
Yeah, amongst other things, mate.
He's a jack of all trades, isn't he?
Is he?
Yeah.
It's amazing, really, really good. So Kev, why do you do what you do? Why did you get into this whole thing in the first place? So obviously the story started in the UK.
Yeah, or the story for me started in Dublin, really, and wanting to get more pocket money as a teenager, and having the opportunity to work in the local pub, and then from there it was just like, I loved being in social spaces. G'day, legend. Loved being in social spaces and busy spots. And as soon as I was able to get into the nightclub space and slam out, beers and really, really bad cocktails, let me add. From there, it was just like, let's stay on that journey.
Then you were working there, and then.
So in Dublin, and then moved to Edinburgh, and then spent most of my time.
Do you want a cameo? No.
Jump in.
Cheers.
Moved to Edinburgh, and then have the opportunity to work around some incredible people who have gone on to set up beautiful bars and work on amazing brands. And then from there, you kind of quickly realise that you can forge out a really good career in this. So
from Edinburgh to Melbourne, what was the catalyst to get you here?
Again, through a mutual connection with some of the bartenders I used to work in Edinburgh, lots of Aussies, as you'd expect, like Aussies everywhere. And then when I was looking at kind of moving somewhere, one of my mates who was Melbourne based was like, hey, I know somebody who's looking for a bar manager over in Melbourne, why don't you have a chat?
And it got you here?
Got me here.
Yeah. Oh, right. And then obviously the golf courses were better and everything.
I wasn't playing as much golf. It's always somewhere when you work in the industry, you hear of places like Baxter Inn, and you knew of a lot of people that had kind of worked here. So it was always somewhere that was on the radar as a bartender and somebody in the industry that you're like, if you ever have the opportunity to go to Australia, you'd grab it, right?
How would you rate Melbourne now? Like, considering from when you came here, where does Melbourne sit?
It's been
because you've been like a lot of places.
But I have. But it's been. I feel like Melbourne's been on a journey as well, right? I think what probably a lot of people don't realise is that the scene here started like so early, and it's been on a journey where, similar to a lot of really great cities with great hospitality culture and cocktail culture, is they go through sort of stages where they experienced people who were training everyone had moved on, and they need the next generation to step up into it, and it then kind of was almost for a wee bit of a period was kind of needing that next kind of resurgence of talent, and I feel like we're in this sweet spot now where the young generation coming up making drinks are just probably way more talented than I ever was at making drinks. Some of the drinks coming up are just so clean and so well thought out, and Melbourne's in a really exciting spot now where it's just about to kind of kick off with a lot of new openings and a lot of new spots. So.
What are you making over there?
We are making some Tucky Old Fashions. We're really fortunate that Kevin's actually just managed to bring in some Tucky Black, which is essentially a blend of some grain whiskey that's been done in column and coffee stills. So all we're going to do is just add a little bit of back palate on, a little bit of body, just to bring out all the good things that we're already doing at whiskey.
Incredible. We'll let you go for it. Let me go and check that out.
Thank you so much.
This
Beautiful.
is the magic. Thank you very much. Oh well, cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you for that, Rob. That's delicious.
It's all about the whiskey in the glass, right?
It's so good to work obviously on good products, but then when you have it kind of adding layers to it as well with kind of like just that little bit of skill, that little bit of finesse, it's...
Yeah. What's your go-to cocktail? And yours as well. Like if you were gonna be buried with a cocktail for the rest of your life and there was a straw coming into the coffin, I want to know your ultimate cocktail for the rest of your life and the album that you're listening to.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's like a walking music library, so it's probably
But surely there's an album
from...
that like goes through the journeys, and then you could listen to. If you
I just can't live like that. No.
that's so you will have no.
Drinks wise, I'm really linear.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm out, I tend to drink just a handful of few things. So it's like whiskey. I am half man, half pisco sour.
Love that.
Yeah, lovely.
You got a Cisco sour here, yeah?
Yes, based on it. Yeah.
Pisco sour.
Yeah.
And you?
Do you know what? I think kind of getting into cocktails, I generally am like a spirit-forward cocktail sort of guy. So I'd lean into like Rob Roy's and Manhattans because, you know, and a good whiskey and good vermouths and stuff, I'm like, yeah,
amazing.
Perfect. And nice and crispy cold as well and strong.
Yeah.
You're going to need it when you're in the ground, right?
I'll make the music question easier. An artist, one artist for all time.
For all time?
Well, you're in the ground.
While you're in the
listening
ground.
to one artist. You can listen to their whole back catalogue.
Yeah, Radiohead for me fits being in a coffin. So.
my taste in music is absolutely horrendous, and I kind of like, I'm on like a weird spectrum of like loving some really old stuff and like your Van Morrisons, but then very recently I admitted,
Irish, you know?
yeah, especially after a whiskey. But then more recently I said to a colleague, I'm really vibing Olivia Dean at the moment. I don't know if that's okay to say because it's kind of off the back of a popularity, but you know, it can be anything on either end of the spectrum. But I love a bit of Foy Vance.
Yeah.
As well.
Foy Vance.
Foy, F-O-Y.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, well, you gotta look them up now.
Yeah, okay. And then where do you see the future of industry kind of going, like in the bar world? And I'm not just like focusing just on Melbourne, I'm looking at sort of the US and EU and Asia and like where do you see kind of the offerings kind of going?
Probably one of the best things I feel about this industry is that the cycles of everything, but also the boundaries that it pushes and the innovation in a lot of industries. Like if you look at some of the sustainable and sustainability-led bars across Southeast Asia, and then some of the very focused provenance bars on produce in parts of Europe, I don't feel like we can ever really kind of predict it, which is super exciting.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's like once we always keep really creative people in the industry, I think that's probably the key, and make it a fun industry to work in. Like if we look at the guys' spaces, what they've created in Three Horses and Caretakers, there's a wee bit of an expression of the guys, and there's an expression of their personality, and that's super important as well, right? If you're gonna pour your heart and soul and probably the majority of your savings into these beautiful spaces, you want it to some way represent yourselves and the people behind it, right? Yeah.
Australia has a brand of service, whether that's coffee, food, drinks, that is becoming an identity globally of what Australians are like.
Yeah.
We're pretty fortunate that we get to travel around the world quite a lot. I miss being served like I am back home or, you know, in Sydney.
Yeah.
It's warm, it's honest, it's friendly.
Generally zero bullshit as well, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
I think one of the best things with that is we talk about connections and people. Like when you have a lot of international guests at Melbourne, whether it's with the tennis or Formula One. It's kind of like all of the bars and restaurants are all recommending each other, and it's all a really nice kind of community. And even though at times you might feel like you're competing against each other, they're all looking after each other as well, which is a really nice trait to have as well, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow, this has been absolutely fantastic. Like a really, really good conversation. Obviously,
3 drinks as well.
3 drinks as well. We've got a
Trust an Irishman and a Scouser to look after you in that way. You know, that's proper hospitality.
Yeah,
right there.
exactly. Thanks, Rob, for having us, and thanks, Kev, for coming in for the conversation. This is not the last one because there's obviously things in the future, but thank you for this. And
Absolute pleasure.
yeah, cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Done.
Cheers, Rob.
Santé.
Cheers, mate.